February 3rd, 2014 was a monumental day for the Harbaugh brothers, Jim and John. These two coaches, or brothers, competed in the ultimate sibling rivalry, the Super Bowl. There are plenty of other famous sibling rivalries according to FoxNews.com. Some of these rivalries include Maggie and Jake Gyllenhaal, Mark and Donnie Wahlberg, and Alec and Stephen Baldwin. Encyclopedia Britannica describes sibling rivalry as the competition among siblings to compete for recognition and the attention of their parents. A kid has a lot to deal with on a daily basis, and one of these things may include sibling rivalry. Positives and negatives, parental roles, and controlling the situation are just a few aspects of a sibling rivalry. Along with any rivalry, there are both positives and negatives to having a rivalry with a sibling. Rivalry can either be negative or positive, but with siblings, most of the time it's negative. KidsHealth.org states that children have evolving needs. Their needs change along with their anxieties and identities. Young children, such as toddlers, may become aggressive towards their siblings if an older sibling would pick their toy up, and they may become upset. As a child becomes older, they develop more of a sense of fairness and equality. They believe that all siblings should remain fair and equal for attention. Teenagers may take a different approach and search for more independence and individuality. They may resent helping with household chores or taking care of siblings. These differences can all influence the reasons siblings fight. Temperaments play a big role in reasons for sibling rivalry. Mood, disposition, and adaptability are all unique to one's personality. If one child is more laid back, they may get upset at the sibling that is more direct and easily rattled. Kids with special needs can also be a factor in a sibling rivalry. These children may act out towards a sibling because they are all seeking more attention from their parents. Parents need to be a good role model towards their children. If a parent is acting aggressively towards a sibling, this may set an example towards a child to act this way towards their sibling. Parents need to be more positive and respectful towards children to avoid less confrontations. Sibling rivalries are not always negative. Sometimes there are positives. According to cam.ac.uk, a 5-year study was done at Cambridge University to examine children's cognitive and social development skills between the ages of 2 and 6 years of age. This program was entitled Toddlers Up. By the age of 4, some children were already showing signs of conduct and behavioral problems. This would hinder progress at school and beyond the classroom. This study was done to map out the causes and influence of the children's social understanding. There were about 140 children studying, starting at the age of 2. The main focuses were on children of low-income families and teen parent families. Wide ranges of tests were done in a 5-year study. The study proved that sibling rivalry had a positive impact on development of children. Social understanding was accelerated because of the interaction between the siblings. Siblings are shown to be each other's ally. They are on the same wavelength. Emotional scaffolding was established through the discussion of thoughts and feelings more in depth. The younger siblings were exposed to emotionally rich language acquired from their older sibling. This also increased social understanding. An article on globalpost.com says siblings can be emotional support for one another. By overcoming differences in a rivalry, one can listen to grievances and offer advice. Siblings will soon learn they are not alone and confide in a trustworthy confidant. Social skills were developed by managing conflicts and learning to negotiate with one another. Phil Sikora of Illinois states that children can model appropriate behavior for one another, resulting in better behavior in school and acting cool among peers. This can improve social skills in social circles and create healthy relationships among people outside of their close family. Along with positives and negatives, a parental's role is also a vital part of a sibling rivalry. The parent's role is important because he or she can mediate between the siblings. KidsHealth.org states that one very important role of a parent is to prevent fighting between the siblings. Yes, there will be small arguments, but they should be kept to a minimum. Parents should not teach their children that every single thing will be fair and equal. Sometimes, with certain circumstances, one child may need more attention than the other. Parents need to be proactive with their children. They should pay attention to each child's needs and interests. If one child likes to play games, the parent should play with them. If the other child likes to read, the parent should make time to read a book to them. Just as parents do, children need their own space. They need time to do their things and to hang out with friends doing activities they themselves enjoy. Scheduling is very important when making time for children. Video games are a good example because each child will get the same amount of time to play the game. Rewarding the children for good behavior at the end of each week will influence good behavior. Holding things in is never good. Parents should allow their children to express their feelings. By listening to the children's feelings, This will help the parents better understand how their child is feeling. This will help the children understand that their parents know what they are going through. This will cause the child to treat their siblings better. Parents should not compare siblings because this will cause anger and jealousy issues. When parents pay attention to their children's individual needs, the children will feel special. The child will look at it as equally because their parents have paid attention to their own individual needs too. Taking sides is one of the worst things parents can do. A parent should look at the situation as if they have no idea what has happened, and they should say to themselves, I just see two kids fighting. The less parents get in the middle of rivalries, the less the siblings will fight. They will learn to solve their differences themselves instead of asking their parents for help. Georgia Kite states in her 2000 article, Sibling Rivalry, there are 7 steps a parent can take to encourage win-win negotiations. The first step is a parent can stop the action. Sometimes this may mean getting physically in between the children. The next step is listening to each other's story because it will help the parents learn their child's side of the story. The parent must then identify the problem. The best way to do this is by asking the siblings if they themselves can identify the problem without their parents' help. Listing ways to solve the problem is the next step, and the parents must ask the children, how do you think you can solve this problem? After asking this, they need to choose a solution. The solution must meet everyone's needs. Parents can help the siblings through the process instead of just stepping in and making the decision for them. Reinforcing the plan is the next step, and parents can help the children reinforce it, but should not do all the work. The last step is the parents need to evaluate the plan and see how well it worked. They may need to decide if something different is the better solution. Not only are the parents' roles important, but the most important role is controlling the situation. According to kidshealth.org, parents can take control of a sibling rivalry using several different ways. The first way is by setting ground rules. Parents will need to reward good behavior and discipline bad behavior. Making a list of rules is a good way to start. When a child breaks a rule, they are faced with the consequences. This will teach the children to be responsible for their own actions. Holding family meetings weekly is a good way to go over the rules and add new ones. Another good subject to bring up during meetings are the successes in reducing conflicts in this rivalry. Having fun together as a family is also important because it brings everyone closer and focuses more on positives and less on the negatives. Kids will want to fight less for parental attention if everyone is together and having fun. In conclusion, just as celebrities have sibling rivalries, kids have to deal with rivalries with their siblings on a daily basis. Positives and negatives, parental roles, and controlling the situation are just a few aspects of sibling rivalry. A sibling rivalry will become a friendship in the end. No one is there for you more than your brother or sister.